Hey, what's up, guys? This is Karina.
And I'm Pebbles, and this is Divine Connections.
Today's episode is going to be sponsored by Belmonte Media,
Soul Supply Company, and Pebbles Tattoos.
Today, I am repping my Gangster Soul Harmony t-shirt. Go ahead and get yours. Go follow them on Instagram today. We also have our special guest,
Pirate Tattoo. I'm formerly living in East LA, but I've been all over the country from New York to Philadelphia, Chicago, Baltimore, Miami, and back to the CA.
Perfect. Today, we want to talk about a little bit about you. You know, we want to kind of just shine light on all the things that you've been accomplishing, you know, during your life journey. So I want to just start by getting a little bit about your past. You know, tell us about your parents and where you guys come from.
Well, my family originates from Pomona, California. They were born and raised there, but as a kid, as my child, they moved out. My dad was a cement mason, so he traveled all over the place. But unfortunately, they couldn't stay in Pomona because prices and stuff like that. So we ended up moving out to the IE, which is Fontana, California, and I stayed there and went to elementary at Randall Pepper.
So your parents are from here, like they were born here?
They were born here.
What ethnicity are they?
They're Hispanic, Latino, Mexican.
From Mexico? Okay.
Well, they're not from Mexico. They were born here, but we're Mexican.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My great grandfather Reginald Reyna is actually European and flew here from Spain, and that was in Pearl Harbor.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Pearl Harbor. He's was career Navy.
So you have some Spaniard descent.
So he served in the Navy, and then after that, he outlisted from the Navy and started doing his own gardening work, which he had his own business, and he did that until he passed away. He's been dead for about, I don't know, 10 years now, maybe 11 years. It's been a while. I mean, I don't really keep track, but yeah, that's pretty much it. My mom does hair for a living, and my dad works for Water and Power, Los Angeles.
oh wow.
And I'm a tattoo artist, obviously.
So when your parents were moving around and stuff, like, how did you adjust to that? How was that?
I just...
Did you get used to it easily, or was it hard to adapt?
It's always like... it's always something new because, you have to make new friends and,
Well, you took that with you, right? You said you traveled everywhere already.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been outgoing, so it's not hard for me to make friends. I just when I was younger, I just try to blend in with who was doing what I like doing, whether it was riding bikes or playing basketball or playing football.
What kids used to do back in the day.
So would you say you had like a pretty normal childhood, or what would you say like about your childhood? Like your mom and dad did good? They did their best?
Yeah, they did their best. Unlike any parent, we all have our problems.
Yeah.
They didn't work it out though. They had their own issues. My dad was, he's a womanizer. But
They ended up separating. How old were you?
I was 13.
Oh, okay. So teenager.
I'm the oldest of my siblings. I have two sisters and one little brother.
Oh,
I'll be 40 this year in a few weeks, and then I have my sister Elaine. She's 38, and then I have my younger sister, which is Stephanie. She's 34, and my brother Armando. He's 26.
So you're the oldest of 4 siblings. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So once your dad left, how was it in the house?
I mean, I always had structure, and when he left, that's when I started hanging out with, and thinking that I could do what I want to do. My dad's not here.
Where were you guys living at this time?
In Upland.
Upland. So you're in Upland, your dad left, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna do what I want to do now.
Yeah, well, that's when I started liking girls and stuff.
Oh,
so you were a womanizer.
so puberty hit, and you were like,
Hang out with people. So, I felt like I could leave and be out in the streets and stuff. And my mom, she was always working. So it was like I would take care of my brothers and sisters. And, I pretty much had the house to myself. So when she would come home, I'd be like, oh, Mom, I'll be right back. I'm going to hang out with my people and shit. And And then we'd just be out in the streets, you know, doing what we wanted to do until it was, you know, time to go inside. I'd probably stay out till like 11 o'clock at night and then come back in.
Is that when you started tattooing? Is that
When did, yeah, well,
I must start tattooing. And, well, you know, I picked up a tattoo machine at 18 years old. And it wasn't like, I wasn't all in. It was just kind of something like I fiddled around with because I didn't really know too much about it. But I always,
were you always, I was going to say that, were you always into art? Like,
yeah, I was always in art. I you know, since when I was a little kid, I would draw like little Batman signs, stuff like that, smiley face.
what about as a teen? Did you keep
It
going?
was more or less like graffiti,
Oh, okay.
you know, doing like letters, drawing.
On the walls?
No, I didn't actually. I would go out and graffiti, but it wasn't like something that I was really invested in
Oh, okay.
because it cost money.
Yeah.
And we didn't have money, so
You didn't have spray cans like that?
cans you'd have to go out and steal them.
Oh, that's true. Because you have to get an ID, huh?
Yeah, you're not gonna get. Yeah, man, that's you. Somebody was gonna get them for you.
Mm.
But for the most part, it was all on paper. We used to get like the sketch books. And you just, you know, do your artwork, and then you go back to school and show it off. But before that, I was into breakdancing.
Oh,
I was like, hey, that era, right?
That was like the main thing that I like to do. So like
That's
in high school, I
cool.
was on the dance team for a bit.
Oh, okay.
We used to go out to the Calvary Chapel, and we would meet up at these other churches, and you just see other like dudes, they'll break dancing. They were really good, you know. So we do windmills and stuff like that.
that's cool. How'd you know you could do that?
You know, a lot of people don't know I can do it. I mean, I
No, how did you know? Like, how'd you figure it out? Like,
I just started practicing videos like
So you're into like performing arts.
like Beat Street and breaking.
that's cool. We're gonna have to move this table later on.
Yeah. We have to see what you got.
I'm trying to do that right now. Now I can,
Like, I'm cranking.
you know, and in pushing 40, I'm gonna feel it for the next 2 weeks.
I can't say I can't do it, he said. I'm gonna need some Bengay later.
Yes, sir. Yes. But, you know, that was like the highlight of my childhood. I did do art, but then I kind of strayed away from it because I was
Dancing.
into dancing and stuff.
That was your passion at that time.
I used to go to the dances at high school. During the rallies at high school, I'd be dancing over there. And then the high school, they actually took notice to me because I would do it during.
What high school did you go to? Shout them out.
I went to Upland High and I went to Chino Don Lugo.
Oh, okay. Well known.
But I didn't really do that at Chino. It was more or less at Upland because I was breakdancing in junior high at Upland Junior High after I got transferred over from Fontana Junior High. And one of the girls that was on a dance team, she went and told her teacher, hey, you know, there's this kid over here out on lunch, and, you know, he dances really well.
That's cool.
So I was like, you know what? They came to my class, and they said, hey, you know, would you be interested in joining the dance team? You know, what class do you want to not go to? So
Oh, like math.
Like an elective or something.
it's not the
But that's something you can't. Could you? No.
No, they did.
What?
So they pushed it back for a later semester.
Whoa, that's cool.
All right, I did that for a while, and it was cool. But like I said, when my father left the house, I started getting into adolescence, and I started doing what I wanted to do. You know, I would ditch school, you know, go to ditching parties.
That young life, teenager life. We
And it leads you down a path to where, hey, me and my buddies, we broke into some cars to try to get some quick cash so we could go get some pot. And we ended up getting caught, and I went to juvenile hall for the first time.
How old were you?
I was 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I stayed there for, I want to say I stayed there for 3 months the first time, and they released me on probation. So after that, I was on probation, and here I was no longer on the dance team. So
Was that something that kept happening? Would you return?
yeah, I kept, you know, actually, like I said, my dad wasn't around,
Oh, okay.
so I kind of, I started falling into the streets, and I started getting introduced to alcohol.
Oh, okay. So he was completely out of the picture. Kind of?
For the more or less
Yeah.
it was because, you know, he had a new girl.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He was like kind of living his other life.
He was doing what he wanted.
Yeah.
I don't take nothing from him. Like I said, whatever happened in the past. I forgave my dad. We're different people today, but
So after juvenile hall, did you finish high school?
I did, but I didn't finish in high school. I finished in a camp.
Oh, okay.
Because I got out. I did some more
Like a repeated cycle. Yeah.
and sending me to what do you call it? Like a boys' home,
Oh, okay.
placement center.
Placement.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
So they sent me down to San Diego, and I was there for about a year. I got into a fight with somebody in there, and I knew that they were going to send me. They were trying to send me to YA, so I took off from there.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was 15. I had just transitioned to 16 years old, and I was working at McDonald's. Yeah, I had my checks already stacked up, so I felt like I got about 4 checks stacked up from out.
Yeah.
Took off from there, from Escondido. We went down to a camp center, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna be here. This is like a rec center for all the boys that are in that facility." And I told my buddies, I said, "Man, get all my clothes together, bro, because when I get over there, I'm gonna split."
You already had a plan.
Rails, man, for my stuff in the back of the van and stuff and whatnot. There's a guy that takes us in the van and stuff, and when we get there, all my stuff's in the back. And he don't know that. And I said, "Okay, when you guys get off the van, make sure you leave the back door open. So when I leave, I can grab my bag and I can zip out." So we're there and stuff and do the shoot and pull. And I said, "All right, dude, I'm out." Went, grabbed my bag, and there was like a big wash. So I jumped the fence, and I'm all running up the wash.
So you won't.
Yeah.
And I seen 2 homies, they were drinking beers, we're having a barbecue, and I go, "Hey, what's up?"
They're waiting for you.
I go, "Hey, do me a favor." And he was like, "What?" I go, "I just ran away from a camp. Can I leave it with you guys?" Yeah, come on. And I just,
They're all,
They can crack open a beer. Light it up, play with it.
but I told him, I said, "Hey, bro, you know where I can cash my checks?"
and how old are you?
I was 16 at
Oh, okay.
So you know where I can cash my checks, this and that. And he was like, "Yeah, there's a store right here." He goes, "But they're only going to cash one. They won't cash all of them. Only cash one." I go, "Well, if I cash my check and I give you guys some money, can you take me up to, the end of the empire?"
Oh,
"Yeah, for sure. We'll drive you." And
wow.
they hooked me up. So they drove me all the way up back to my house. And, my mom seen me. She was like, "What the hell are you?" So, I don't want to be there no more. I got into a fight with somebody, and I know that they were trying to send me back to probation, and they were going to, they're going to send me my
So what happened since that did happen? You don't have any trouble?
run for a minute.
Oh, okay.
I was on the run for like 6 months, and then I ended up getting caught because I
Oh.
had money. So I bought
And you're young.
on the streets,
Oh, damn.
walked around with that. Then we jumped me and my primo and a few other homies. We jumped the fence to the elementary school, and we're blazing right there drinking. And we left, but I guess somebody called the police, and they were like, "Oh, there's some people over there, at the school." So when we're walking down the street, we got rolled by the cops, and right there and then I already knew that was it. I was like, "Damn, this is it." My running's up. Because I had a gun on him, I had a gun on me. We ended up going back to juvenile hall, and then from there they sent me to camp. Once I got to camp, I thought I was only going to be in a boot camp for like 6 months, but they reclassified me, and they were like, "No, we have to keep you to your 18, because if we let you out,
Oh,
you
damn.
haven't been in here long enough to be here rehabilitated, so you're going to a stronger camp."
Oh,
We all the way to Sacramento, and I stayed there till I was 18.
dang. So it's a camp. It's just, it's a boys.
It's a boot camp.
Oh,
So you went up north and they just kept you there till you were 18?
Yeah, it's a fire camp for boys.
Oh, okay.
Before they send you out to the fire camp, they make sure, like, through whatever their orientation is. So you have to stay there for a certain amount of time until they qualify you to go out and use the power tools
Oh, okay.
and start doing
I
stuff.
didn't know they had that for kids. I know they have that for adults.
I don't know if they have that anymore. But back then they did. And this is back in early 2000s. We're talking about like 2003.
Oh, okay.
you know. And then I didn't see my family for a while. I came home, and then I ended up getting a job at Taco Bell at 18. And after I graduated, that's when, like you said, well, when you start.
Yeah, when did you?
I met one of my homies that was actually already out. He had a tattoo machine gun. And I said, hey, man, you know, I had my own apartment at that time, trip out. I had a 3-bedroom apartment back there, and I was.
Oh yeah, because the rent back then, yeah.
How much was it
Like
back then?
probably $800. And you have a
3-bedroom apartment.
Damn.
Story.
Wow.
I shit you not. And I, you know, so he comes over and he's like, man, I got a tattoo machine and stuff. It's a Spalding and Rogers old one. They're like, our unit's like this. And I said, man, let me check that out, man. I think I could do this. They had me want to try to give me a tattoo. And I said, I mean, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. And I was like, hey, come on, let me do it. No glove.
So your first tattoo is on skin, like real skin, a person.
Did you ever do any fake?
Huh?
Did you ever do any fake skin at all? No, you straight.
They didn't have skin
Back then, no?
No, they
Dang,
didn't
that's
have
crazy.
No, so I was just like, you know, I start like doing the skulls on him, and
Freehand?
he just free.
No gloves.
I go back and I look at him.
Who did that?
I didn't even tell nobody I did that shit. Because I'm going to tell them I don't know what you're talking about.
I do that.
So
I'm
you
like, damn, I did
so you
that.
picked up your first tattoo gun, and how did it feel? Like, what was the feeling?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good. But at the time, you know I'm not making money off of that. So I went from working at Taco Bell to then I got hired at In-N-Out.
So this was at 18 still. So 18 is when you first picked up.
I was working at In-N-Out. I was in a relationship with my daughter's mom at the time. I had just had a little girl. She's going to be 21 in June.
Wow.
Oh, her.
Yeah. So me and her didn't end up working out because, you know, like I wasn't making a lot of money. I didn't have a car and stuff like that. So we ended up breaking up. She went with somebody else, which I'm happy for her now. You know, no love lost.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all move on.
Yeah.
And plus, that's still your daughter's mom, and you know, there's still a child involved.
I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? She did me a favor. You know what I'm saying? I dodged the bullet on that one.
I wish we could do a sound.
Well, the thing is, when I think about all these things, and then I look at like where I'm at today and everything that I've done that's behind me, as far as like traveling back east, and
So when did that happen?
well, that didn't happen until actually I started a junior college somewhere, and I graduated from there, and I got my associate's degree. After that,
And what? Sorry.
in fine arts and graphic design.
Oh, wow.
After I did that, I'm like, okay, this is done, but what's next?
And you have a kid. So now you graduated, you have a kid, you're single still,
Yeah. At that time, yeah, I was.
and you're still in California,
I'm still in.
and you got your degree.
I think what did I do? Oh, this is what happened. So remember, I was telling you about the conventions.
Oh, yeah.
When the podcast started. So I was tattooing. Then I started tattooing before I started college. So I was getting good, and I was decent.
On and off?
No, I was just like straight to it.
Oh, wow.
If I rewind back time, in 2007, I got shot.
Oh.
Homeboy, and they shot up my car. That's how I lost
So tell us that story.
Yeah.
that.
What happened?
A lot of the stuff that happened between.
How old were you?
I was 22 at the time.
So this was right after you had your daughter, and you were working at In-N-Out and stuff, right?
Yeah, I was no longer working at In-N-Out. I was actually working for a pharmaceutical company. At this time, I was working at a warehouse. And like I said, I was with some girl, and somebody else just kind of like was jealous.
Wow.
We got into a fight a few weeks before that. And I didn't think he was going to come back the way he did.
Damn.
My buddy was like, we pulled through the block. He was like, hey, there's this dude from the other day. And I said, well,
Where were you guys at?
I was in Upland.
Oh,
And I'm pulling through this, it's not a dead end street, but when you go through, you have to come back out through the alley if you want to just continue straight. Now, otherwise, you have to bust it. You turn it.
Mhm.
So I'm following the street through, and when he told me he saw him, like, yeah, he has a gun and stuff. So I looked up at the mirror before I could think. I got shot.
Damn.
I got in my car. I got shot in the back of the head, and the bullet came out of my eye.
Wow.
I just remember everything turned black. So I was like, wow, in my mind, I'm like, okay, something bad has happened because I don't have any control over my body. The only thing that I have right there at that point is my inner thoughts.
You were still like conscious.
Conscience. So I felt like I had to say what I had to say. Like I knew, like, this is it.
So you and your friend got shot?
He's dead. He died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He got shot in the back.
Was he in the car with you?
Car with me.
And he didn't know nothing that was going on? So he was kind of like innocent bystander? Well, he knew, like, he was your friend, right?
He knew what time it is. We all hung out there.
Yeah.
But the beef was between you and the guy and the girl. It was nothing to do with your friend, right? So he kind of just was in the mix?
Something like that. I mean, he had his own little issues there.
Okay.
But then, and the most part, it was more than just that.
Yes.
There was problems that were just stacking up on it.
Got it.
You know how young kids could be.
Yeah.
Those are their homies.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever, whatnot. I'm not gonna mention any names.
Yeah, but it was like territorial, little, yeah.
So, I'm in the darkness, and then I just said to myself, I said, man, I remember my grandma told me, she's like, you need to repent for your sins and stuff. And if you know you're gonna be in a situation like this, Jesus loves you and this and that. And I was like, you know what? I told myself in my mind, I says, I believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins.
And this is all while you're shot, right?
Wow.
And then I saw the light. I saw my whole life flash before my eyes.
Really?
Came back to life. And I remember, like, I was sitting in the car, and I was like, I took a deep breath, and then I started wiping my face, and I'm like, man, I feel like warm water. And I was looking at my hands, and my hands got blood all over it. I'm looking down, and I'm bleeding. And I looked at my friend. He like,
Now you're moving. Your body's moving.
he went in the shot. And I told him, don't get out of the car. Don't get out of the car. And he was like, oh, I gotta take a chance. I gotta get out of here. And as soon as he jumped out of the car, they shot him in the back. We made it about like maybe 40 yards before he collapsed in front of his house. So I'm like, man, you know what? What am I gonna do? If I stay in this car, they're gonna finish me off, or unless they think I'm dead already. So I opened the car door. I fell out. I was trying to walk, but I couldn't. I felt dizzy. I felt like I just got off a spinning roller coaster, and I was.
Did you feel pain?
I didn't feel any pain.
Your adrenaline
I
probably.
felt dizzy, so I was trying to walk forward, and I fell on the floor. I could hear bing, boom, 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 boom. They're still shooting, and I went to where a car was, and then I didn't hear no more gunshots. So then I ran to where my homie was, and I said, "Hey, I knocked on the door. I go, hey, his sister's in there." And then as soon as she saw me, she started screaming. And I still.
So you're hit in the eye and you're mobile, dude. You're still running. You're running for your life.
I don't even know, like, to be honest with you, I don't even know, like, what I looked like at the time.
Probably like a freak show, right? Like a horror film. Like somebody's just like bleeding.
Like, man, I'm telling you, she runs out, so I go into their house, and as I'm walking in, I can just see like days falling, and I said, man, so it has to be bad. It has to be bad. So I get to where the bathroom is, and before I actually get into the bathroom, I slightly peek my head in. My eye was hanging out.
Oh, you looked in the mirror.
Your eye was hanging out.
Hanging out of my head, and it looked like somebody like stabbed me in my eye, and when they pulled out the knife.
And you're walking.
I'm telling you, like a scary movie, right?
Yeah. It looked fake to me.
What?
I couldn't even.
So were you in shock at all? Like, were you?
I went into this room, and I sat down on the bed for a second to gather my thoughts, and
This is crazy.
I started controlling my breathing.
Are they calling 911? Is everyone freaking out? Like, what's?
No, I called 911.
Oh my!
I did, because everybody was outside.
Oh, yeah, because your friend.
Outside, so I went to the phone, and I called.
Oh, because your friend passed.
I'm on the phone, and I said, hey, I'm not sure if I got shot in the head or I got hit with a piece of glass or something, but my eye's hanging out of my head.
So I don't know you're hit yet from the back.
I was hit from the back.
Oh my God!
And then the lady on the phone, she was like, what? I go, yeah, you need
She's like, how is this guy talking to me?
Yes.
somebody over here right now because I'm bleeding out and my friend's, he's laid out on the.
Did you know he was dead?
Well, he wasn't dead yet because he was still talking.
Okay.
Wow.
And then one of my friends came in. He was like, hey, lay down, lay down. Grabs a towel and puts it on my eye and tells me, lay back. Don't worry about that, this and that, we got it from here. And I was like, all right, cool. So, and like 45 minutes later, then the ambulance got there.
Wow.
They put me on a gurney. They took me down to the high school. And I just remember when we got to the high school.
So it took 45 minutes for the ambulance to come to someone that shot in the eye. That's crazy.
That's
Whenever it's violence like that, and it's not.
And you're in the IE right now. And it's crazy because I thought we only had those problems in LA and then
Oh, no. It goes down out there. It goes down.
they just gonna let you bleed out.
they're like, oh, damn.
But I just remember they took me down to Upland High. I'm on the football field, and I got airlifted. I got airlifted from there all the way to Airhead Regional. At the I got to the top of the rooftop. I thought my parents were there, but I guess they said they were never there. I guess I was just
Hallucinating.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
like put me under, and then when I came back, then next.
So was did the bullet come out
Yeah.
or was it in your head?
No, I got here with a hollow point, so it fragmented.
Oh.
How did it? So, oh, that's why.
I still have them all right here,
Oh man.
like some.
Yeah.
When they take the X-rays or whatever they did, MRIs or whatever, did it slightly miss anything?
It curved around my brain.
Oh,
In the
In the eye, in the socket. Oh man, you're so freaking lucky. That's a miracle for real.
some of the bullet fragments hit my nose right here, so where my nasal cavity is, like my smell is slightly off,
okay.
so I can't smell the way you guys smell.
Oh, so if I'm funky, you ain't gonna know.
I mean, onions is
If my breath stink, you ain't gonna know.
Why you say onions? You smell some onions?
if it's a strong scent, I get like I could get a.
He'd be like, "That's my girl."
But yeah, that's one thing that happened.
So after your eye, and you're in the hospital, how long does it take you to recover, man?
It took me.
Like, how long did it take you to get back to normal society, like your normal routine?
It took me about 3 months. Because the first 2 months, the first month I really couldn't walk, and then I was at rest, and then the second month, the last 2 months of the 3 months, I was in depression, so I didn't even want to come outside. I was just like, I was more upset at the fact that my face was messed up. When the first time my mom cleaned my face, I had a big bandage around my head, and she's taking it off, and she goes to clean it, and I go, I wanted to go look in the mirror. She was like holding my face, and she goes, I don't want you to look. So I says, no, let me see. When I looked, I was like, I was so brokenhearted, man, because I was like, I told her, I go, I don't want nobody to take pictures of me no more. I want to come out of my room. My face is all fucked up. It really hurt. And it wasn't until my aunt came and she brought me the eye patch, and she goes, here, why don't you try this on, And I said, okay, I'll try it on. And I put it on. When I looked in the mirror, I told myself, I said, I looked at it and I said, this is so bad. I think this is meant for me. This is who I'm supposed to be. And I've been wearing it this way, and I feel like I'm comfortable.
Is that where your name Ink Pirate came from?
Yeah. Well, it didn't come that way right away. It was kind of developed over time because I still had more of a journey to do. Because this story that I tell you, I haven't just told you guys. I've told it from New York.
It's your testimony.
Yeah.
And I try to give people strength in knowing that there's something else. And that, it's okay, that I know we're all going to die. That's just what it is. But I give people comfort in knowing that there's something else. Because I told them I saw the light, and I know he's real.
So your near-death experience it's your testimony now, and you know,
has to
it's gonna touch people.
If it's not told, then that's very selfish of me.
Yeah.
To not be able to be like, look, let me give you some comfort in some things that may be going on wrong here. Like, so it makes me humble because I'm not really eager about money. You know, I know that like wherever I'm at right now, this is where God wants me right now. But He wants me to be in the slums and in the roughest areas where people are, because when I traveled and I tattooed in Philadelphia and New York, I was in the rough neighborhoods all over the country. But in those rough neighborhoods that I've been in, I was accepted by everybody. And that was a blessing to be among the community. Not only just to go over there and visit, but to be working. I spent holidays with people over there. I spent Christmases, Thanksgivings, and I built a bond with people. And that's something that I get to cherish, because a lot of people just go out to visit, but they don't know what it's like to be 10 toes down.
They don't really get involved in the culture of, you know,
community of poverty and other people that are struggling. But when you have somebody like me that goes into those communities, it gives them hope and it makes them believe. And I tell them,
because you come from the same places they come from the slums, you know,
I come from
the poverty areas,
from, you know, being in jail. I come from all that, you know, from buying.
I think it's just inspiring that even when you lost your eye and at a young age, because, you know, at that time in your life, you're all about your image, you know, you're young, you're 22 years old. But after that, like, you continued to still be an artist and not give up.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I try to build hope for people, you know, and I tell them, you know, I know what it's like to get, to face,
Life-changing
situations, but also when you go to a job and you're trying to do the right things, you know, people turn you down.
So you like discrimination, you know, you get discriminated against, you get stereotyped, you're put into this one bubble where this is you and that's all. You can't go higher, man. You're ghetto, you know, you're from the hood.
So I have to take matters into my own hands. You know, I don't work for nobody myself. This is it, right?
Did it take you a while to get comfortable or get used to just with one of your eyes?
It did, in a sense, to where like my judgment on like if, let's say, if you threw a baseball at me, my timing is not the same as yours.
Wow.
I don't have a peripheral like you do.
Wow.
So everything's just like, if it's coming at me, I gotta be like ahead of the ball.
Wow.
You know, it like that.
How did you get comfortable with wanting to tattoo? Like, when
I
did
didn't
you
really have a choice.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I would try to go stuff like that, and I was getting discriminated.
You're like, I'm gonna just pursue this.
If I don't do this, no one's gonna do it for me. So I bought my own machines. They weren't the best, but it was enough for me to get started. And then I started getting better. And then, like I said, when I went to school after I graduated, I was already missing my eye. But I was ahead of my class. I got straight A's.
So even though you were missing your eye, you had a near-death experience and all these things were happening in your life, you still managed to continue your education and your dream of being an artist.
I got my degree, and I just kind of felt like when I'm going through life, because my friend died, he was a good person. I mean, we all have our flaws. We're more perfect, but I just felt like because he died, I felt like I had to live for two people. And he got cut down at 19.
Oh, I see.
So I was like, you know, I have to do something positive, because there's not, if I don't, then me coming back this second time is just like, you know what I mean? It's turning the cheek.
Yeah.
You know, you saved me, but now I'm going to go out and do something, you know? And I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to live with myself knowing that I had another chance, you know? Not even the richest person in the world can get what I got.
Yeah.
A chance at life. So I cherish it. And that's what drove me into tattooing, and it inspired me to try to be as good as I can. And I'm still striving today. I'm not the best artist, but I'm trying to be the best that I can be while I'm still here.
Of course.
And since now that since I was 22, I'm going to be 40 now. I've been gifted 18 more years of life.
Yeah.
You know,
No, awesome. No, really.
Yeah.
and it's been even not even just life, but it's been a journey. You know, I got to live in New York for 3 years.
That's awesome.
I got to see the ball drop in Times Square.
Oh, for New Year's?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I know we all would like to experience stuff like that.
Atlantic City. I've been to the Jersey Shore Boardwalk in Wildwood. You know, I've been to Chicago. I met my son's mom in Miami.
Oh, wow.
How many kids do you have?
3.
Oh,
I have 2 boys and 1 daughter. They're all from 3 different women, which I'm not proud to say that's a trend.
That's what that.
I got dealt the wrong hand.
3 baby mama, gang. 2 baby daddies is cool. Gang. I know a lot of you can relate out there. Stop playing.
Yeah, man. You know,
Some of them are like, 3, I got 6.
but I'm
Hood stars.
not having any more.
No more.
That's where I'm at. You know, my son's at home right now. And, he's a good boy. You know,
How old is he?
he's 7 years old.
The youngest one? How about the middle one?
When he's 17.
Oh, wow.
17. He lives in Oklahoma with his mom.
Oh, wow.
So you got babies all over the country. Look at you.
But they-
in Cali, Oklahoma, Chicago, where all the good girls at? He's like, got a little taste of here, got a little taste of this. You know, you're at a buffet. You're just like, let me get a little bit of this, little bit of that, and a little bit of this, because I just want to try it.
Hey, man, Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Can you tell me something that you learned about yourself, that like something good that you learned about yourself during your tattoo journey?
I think that I know how to inspire people. I'm a great leader. You know, if I get into a situation, like when I first went to New York, I met some cats out there, my homie Aaron, and they were at a shop that they had just opened. And when I got in there, you know, I kind of inspired everybody to say, you know, we can do this right now. And not only that, but I'm at Sacred Death in Boyle Heights right now. And the homegirl just opened up her shop, and I have to do the same thing with her. I'm trying to inspire everybody there and say, you know what, when it's slow, it's okay because there's still work to do.
And you said you're at an all-female tattoo shop right now, right?
All female.
Hey, shout out to them.
Well, including me now. I was the guy that works there, but before me, and it was just all female.
What would you say that you learned about yourself? Maybe some bad things or some flaws, and even if you changed them or you did it, like what are some things that you learned about yourself that maybe you're like, yeah, I don't really like this, or I need to fix this?
The worst thing that I hated about myself was that because, you know, what happened in my face, it was hard for me to find love. So I was looking for love in all the wrong directions. And when you do that, you get misled and you can get distracted on what your real.
Yeah.
That was one of my flaws, is because I just wanted to be loved. And when you go and you chase the wrong woman can chase you down the wrong path. That's why I have 3 kids.
You found love, yeah. Stop playing. You found love a few times.
Yeah, you know, but I had fun. I had fun. I traveling on my own was one of the greatest accomplishments that I cherish, because if I had never went through the trauma that I went through, then I don't think that I would have ever stepped out as far as I would.
Yeah. It's about loving yourself too, more than anything.
You got to take the good with the bad, bad with the good.
Yeah.
It's
So even that part that you probably dislike about yourself is a part that you have to accept, because that's a part of you too. Yeah. So you have to love that. You have to love those pieces as well.
So, and in your journey of finding out things that you like and you don't like about yourself, what were some things that you learned about people now that you work with people and you travel and you're seeing all different cultures and different type of people, you know, from all the different cities that you travel to? Like, what did you learn about people as a whole?
we all face the same issues every day. We all have the same problems. We all deal with the same bills. We all deal with the same stuff that comes yearly. Everybody's struggling. Nobody's perfect. And whether you're white, black, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, we are all going through the same thing.
So nobody's
where you're at in the country. And that's
Or your class, social class, or status.
yeah. And when you're growing up out here, if I'm mine, I'm thinking, well, we're probably the only ones going through this until you actually get to another ghetto. And then you find yourself like, man, they got it worse than us, They got it worse than us, and especially when I was in Philadelphia, I thought it was bad in areas in Los Angeles until I got out there. And if you ever seen Rocky, movie? Okay, the first one, ran down and look.
I remember.
Okay, it looks like that today. This day it looks like that. You get out there, it's even worse.
When I think of Philly, I think of like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, you might think of it because it's sugar coated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad, man. And New York, same thing. Because everything's old over there. You got to think about it. They're about 200 years older than us. So whatever we're going through, they went through that 200 years before us.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you have your bad areas, you still have the communities really cool. As soon as I got out there and they found out I was from California, I got a lot of love. I was hooking people up with tattoos. I met a guy out there. His name's Todd Lowell. He owns Northern Liberty Tattoo in Fishtown. That's in Philly. And then from Philadelphia, I met some other people that were from New York. And they told me, you should come out to New York, man. You'll make really good money out here. They don't really get that West Coast black and gray that you do.
I've heard that a lot, that they need that out there.
So is this the style of tattooing is different?
Yeah, because they're more like, they do like more of the old school biker style.
Oh.
Like traditional.
Yeah, like traditional.
Heavy.
They really admire like a lot of California artists. Like we have a different technique. Yeah.
So that's why they call it like the West Coast style.
Yeah.
I'm just asking because you guys are both artists, so
I worked in Queens. I worked in Brooklyn. I worked in Williamsburg, which is still Brooklyn, and Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, North Philly, Philadelphia. And like I said, when you get out there, it's like you're stepping into a time machine. You get off on the airplane and you're like, I'm finally in the big city, But then you stick out because we don't sound like anybody.
Really? There's a big difference.
It's even our accent, right?
Yeah, they know right off the bat. They're like, oh,
You're from California.
You're from California. You're not from out here. What do you
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I've heard that too. So what would you say to an aspiring artist right now, like that would motivate them to, start their journey as a tattoo artist?
For one, don't get hooked on drugs. Don't do that.
Number one to the crack commandments. Don't get off your own supply.
Well, because that's what's known in the some.
You also need to think about the company that you keep, because the company that you keep can get you into trouble that you don't really want. Mm-hmm. And what else? Also, if someone knows something, rather than trying to compete, try to learn. Keep that as a positive, and always save your money. Always save your money. Don't be so eager to splurge your money unnecessary, thinking that just you want to live in the moment, because there's a lot of tattoo artists that do that. But you get money fast, and then you're like, man, I'm up. But a lot of people don't think about November and December. Mm-hmm. That's when it gets slow.
Yes.
And I had to learn that the hard way. Now I understand what's going on.
Yeah, you got to let new artists know that it's okay. This is the time when, you should be putting
away. You should always have a good savings, so that way when it gets tough, it doesn't affect you, because when you start losing money, it affects your craft.
Yeah.
So you'll notice it with different artists, like, okay, they start off humble and they're hungry and their pieces are coming out real good, but when they start getting comfortable,
oh, I noticed that.
They start drinking too much.
Sloppy too.
Now they're just tattooing for the dollar. Mm-hmm. They're not worried about quality. You can see.
I've noticed that a lot, yeah.
Say, wow, man, he used to get down. Why? What's going on? Why? Because they're just trying to hurry up so they can get the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you pick up habits along the road, it doesn't help, because now you're just feeding your habits instead of feeding your talent. And you always want to invest in your tools. Don't be cheap on, if you feel like you need to buy something to make your business go better, buy it.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Don't wait and say, well, I'll get it later. And that was my problem, because I was always on the road. I wouldn't invest in certain things. Now that I'm stable, I'm like, all right, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need this. Because you never know what's going to happen. And COVID taught me that. Because when COVID,
Oh yeah, I think when COVID
a lot of
hit,
the supply companies were shutting down. Weren't selling anything.
yeah.
So before that happened, I went and stocked up. I bought a whole bunch of shit.
You were ready.
Yeah, I was ready because I didn't know if they were going to sell it again until they lifted the COVID ban.
I honestly was scared that COVID was going to stop people from getting tatted, but I think that was like
I think
my
the
best.
at-home businesses bloomed at that time
Yeah.
during COVID, definitely.
I was doing
everybody. I think everybody's brain turned into hustle mode, and they were like, "Hey, I need to figure out more ways to make money because one income and this 9-to-5 job
Yeah.
can be gone, and we can all have to be an at-home mandate or whatever." So I think everybody was like, "Hey, you know, what are we gonna sell? We're gonna sell our feet pics. We're gonna sell our food plates. We're gonna sell everything." Like it became like everybody started learning that I need to have another side hustle. I need to have another skill, not just this 9-to-5.
Yeah.
I think that really kicked everyone's butt, you know, to be more efficient.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when COVID happened, my mom, she stays up in Hesperia, and I'm driving down, and dude, the freeways were
Yeah, I remember that.
Everybody was out.
Oh, I've never seen nothing like that. Yeah, I remember that.
I was going 120 miles on the freeway easy because there was no traffic.
I remember coming to LA, there was no traffic. I was like, this is scary.
It's like a movie.
So what would you say are some mistakes that you made during your tattoo journey or your journey at becoming an artist that you would want others to learn from?
Yeah.
Never put another artist on a pedestal. Never do that because they don't give a shit about you. Never. I mean, it's okay to admire work, but don't put them on a pedestal. Because the minute you do that, they make you look this way.
Oh.
And I did that one time.
So it's like outshining, you know?
Yeah.
They don't want you to outshine them.
You get into a spot like where I'm at, and I've been around big artists, big names.
You said Ink Slingers was somebody that you worked with, right?
No, I didn't work with them.
Oh, okay.
I just went to conventions.
Oh, right.
I saw all their pickup gamers. They've been in the game for a long time. I don't take nothing from them.
Right.
But they got it sold up at the conventions. So if you're trying to compete against those dudes, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Because it's all politics.
Yeah.
Now, when I was going to conventions, I tried for 2 years straight to win trophies, and I knew at some point my work was there.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I hit Arizona, I got the trophy, but
Wow.
I didn't get the trophy
Oh, I see.
because
what
the
you
person that was the judge knew me. So
Wow.
he did me that solid,
mean.
and I got it. So it's not what you know, it's who you know.
But that's when you realize that. Yeah.
And I knew that. Right?
Wow.
And I go, the only way I'm going to win is if it's fixed.
Wow.
If it's not fixed, I'm not going to win. So at some point,
So it had nothing to do with actual skill and talent, is what you're saying, right?
all it has to do is whatever shops they want to make look good.
Wow.
They're homies.
That's it. Yeah, that's the game. Nobody wants to hear it. They'll sit here and say, "Oh, he's full of shit. He's full of shit." I'm not full of shit. I'm skipping at 1,000.
This is your experience.
Yes.
This was what you seen,
Because I
what you
worked
experienced.
with guys, and I was with another three. It was a 3-man crew. It was me and 2 other dudes, and one of the dudes had a brother. His brother, he's decent. His work isn't all that, but he's got the trophies. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's his
Who
brother.
he is. And they're like, oh, he's connected with certain dudes, so they're like, oh yeah, just give him trophies. Well, the other brother started getting jealous because I'm already surpassing,
Oh, I see. Okay.
because I can do color and black and gray. His brother can only do black and gray. He only does like Aztec work.
Oh, okay.
I'll do everything.
Everything.
I'm trying to be well-rounded. So at some point, he starts talking shit about me and wants me kicked off the crew.
Wow.
That's when I stopped doing conventions, because I was
You were like, ah.
there's too much bullshit around it. You do good, somebody gets jealous. You're taking my shine away. That's with anything, because I even went to the other big shops with big name artists, try to get in as an apprentice just to take a few steps back to let them know, like, look, I know what I can do, but I don't mind apprenticing until you feel like, you guys want to let me tattoo. Hell no, they don't want me there. Because if I'm there, I take the shine.
Their work doesn't look that good.
You put somebody that's got 2 eyes versus somebody that's got 1 eye,
It's a threat.
it's a threat.
Yeah.
Because they just say, man, he could do this with 1 eye.
You can.
I got 2 eyes, and I still look like I need practice.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not taking nothing from nobody, but I'm just telling
It makes people feel some type of way. Yeah, it's the truth.
the way it is. Like this last time, and I'll throw this one out there only because this shit pissed me off. I went down to, Nico Hurtado, Black Iron Ink, and he sold the original shop to these other dudes from Lowdown. They call me up. They call me up, okay, to go down over there to help them out on a Black Friday. And I said, okay, I'll do that. I don't usually do Black Friday special tattoos. I usually try to do like
Bigger pieces, yeah.
bigger pieces, yeah. So I go down there. I help them out for the weekend. And there's this guy. His name's Casper. He's there. He's the shop manager. So I go to introduce myself. I walk in. When I go to shake his hand, he squeezes it hard. And now I know this type of handshake. This is that.
Established dominance.
Yeah, this is that I don't fucking like you handshake.
Oh, shoot. That's that secret animosity.
Walk in. I look nice. I'm not trying to do harm, but I like to go in looking clean when I go to the shop. I don't like to go. I'm not going to go in my pajamas and stuff. And that.
Shot glass.
Because presentation.
Of course. Yeah.
So I go there, I make money for the 2 days. I go back on, it's Monday, I go back in. Goes, hey, how do you feel about the tattoo work that you did, this and that? You know, I said, well, I mean, they were just small pieces, you know. I don't really do little pieces like that, but it is what it is. And they go, oh, you know, what do you mean it is what it is? Like, he's already throwing an attitude.
Oh.
And I said,
Where is this coming from, dog?
like, what's up? He goes, you know what? After I shook your hand, you know, you came into the shop and shook everybody's hands but mine. And I don't think that.
Like, what? That's so unprofessional.
I go, let me tell you something, dog. You only get one opportunity to shake my hand. If I feel like you don't like me, I'm not going to sit there and continue to play this game with you back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
And this is at a shop.
And this is at a shop.
In front of people.
He's the shop manager.
That's crazy.
But the owner's there too. The owner was cool. Me and him kicked it off good. But I felt like his type of intimidation, like he was trying to punk everybody.
Oh, okay.
Even the
Bully.
bully everybody.
I've heard that from a few shops actually, that they are kind of even like that with the clients. Like they think like their shit don't stink. So I've seen and heard a lot of
Bad
comments.
etiquette, man. I mean, in customer service, it's everything.
Like,
when
oh, you're
doing
just,
something.
you know.
Yeah, and then, you know, I had a client coming in that was my personal client. He was coming in that morning. He actually was in the lobby, and I didn't know he showed up, and we're in the back arguing. And I told the dude, I go, so, I mean, you're the shop manager, so what do you want to do? He goes, I don't want you here. Get your stuff and leave.
Wow.
I go, that's fine. I'll go ahead and do that. I go, but before I leave, let me tell you this. You're a fucking bitch. I told him
That part.
you're a fucking bitch, and yeah, I just want you to know this. Your fucking work sucks.
I just wanted you to know, dog, before I go.
Maybe
Here's a
all-
live review.
Maybe all these dudes around here might be scared of you. I go, but I'm not. I go, and I just want to tell you that you give this shop a black eye.
Did you wink at him?
As dudes like this, no. If I wink, I blink. But, you know, I had to tell him that. And then as I'm walking out of the lobby, my homie's right there, and he goes, what's going on? I go, man, fuck these people.
Yeah.
We ain't getting tattooed right here. They suck anyway.
Wow.
Walked out, you know, stuff. And long story short, I mean, the dude that owns the shop, his wife wanted to get tattooed by me, but she had just got tattooed by Casper. You know, and you know what? There's enough food for everybody.
Oh yeah, you can't think in scarcity.
That weekend, I left with like $2,000.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure he made money because it was packed in there. And for him to be the way he was, I mean, I wanted to be cool with him. I even bought food and offered him.
Wow.
He's like, I said,
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
It was competition for
and I
him.
just told him before I left, I said, remember this, bro. You have to stay here. I have options. I don't need to be here.
Wow.
I just left. I just left it at that. But that was low down ink. You know, I really wanted to work there, but if it was meant to be, I would be. So I moved on, and now I'm over here in Boyle Heights right now,
And sometimes one no is 10 yeses. So don't ever let that lose. Exactly. 10 more will open.
You're gonna run across people like that. I mean, and it's more or less so for the guys because you're dealing with people that have
No, females too.
Yeah,
it's worse because
some of the
it's like
closest people.
the women are in competition for everything, and it's like not just the looks. Now it's like the personality, and oh, she's cool, and I don't like how everybody likes her. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that. But I used to think that in a men's environment there would be less of that.
No.
Less of the jealousy, the female feelings. You know what I'm saying?
That's way worse, man. And I've been dealing with that shit since I started tattooing. You get into someone else's area and their kingdom, and not your ego, but just your shine is a little bit bigger than them, and they start getting butthurt fast.
Yeah, somebody very close to me. It was a man that
I'm
happened.
not even just talking about the young dudes. It's the older tattoo artists, man.
Yeah.
They see new generation coming in, they don't like it. They want everything for self. They want to hold the keys and just shake them like this. I got the keys.
Yeah, same for the modeling business. Like there's the old hags, and then you come in and then you're younger, and they're like, "Ugh, look at your good skin."
Yeah, that's why you should be embraced.
Yeah, man, especially when they look better than you and they're older. You're like, okay, girl, but you still look good.
Yeah, that's just gonna be the tattoo industry. It's sad to say it's not as tight of a community as it should be.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
What I kind of feel like it's like another form of gangs.
Oh, wow.
It's like, okay, because you get shops and they're all divided. Like, no, fuck them dudes or fuck these dudes and shit. You know, this shop is this. I mean, you'll have other people that do get along, but for the most part, everybody's talking shit about each other. Just like I'm talking shit now.
yeah, it happens. So what advice would you give to an artist that wants to be more skilled in the craft? Like, you know, like with powder shading or like lettering or something like that. Like, what advice would you give?
You're going to have to buy your own seminar videos. You're going to have to do a lot of research on your own. And basically, you need to pick up some books. You need to start reading, because that's what I did. I had to read. I didn't get to get an apprentice.
What book would you recommend, or what are some books that
Videos, I did Franco Vescovi's Black and Gray tutorial. I did
Oh, that's cool.
Nico Hurtado's color tutorials. And then I did in the studio with, what is his name? He just passed away too. Josh Carlton in the studio with him. He breaks down everything as far as your needle groupings, how to set, but he the way he does his, it's coil machine.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a whole different style. So if you want to get into rotary, then you're gonna mess with Franco Vescovi's, because he's gonna show you how to do tattoos better with rotary, how he cuts his gray wash, and it's a really good seminar.
Yeah.
But you really gotta take it in perspective. Not only that, there's another one. It's called The Whole Enchilada by Brandon Bond. He's going to talk about how you go about getting published.
Oh, wow.
Trying to get into magazines and stuff like that, because the trophies just ain't going to work.
Yeah.
You could try to do the trophy thing, but when you go to a convention and you see the line of people that are there try to compete with a trophy, and then you see the ones that keep getting them,
Yeah.
you're going to be like, this shit's rigged.
Of course. Yeah.
There's no way these dudes just keep winning the same trophies. And then they try to set guidelines. With, okay, they'll say like, oh, whoever won a trophy for this piece can't enter it again. But then they don't even follow the rules.
Yeah. So with that said, let new tattoo artists coming up, that it's always a learning experience, and you know, that damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Scratch that out.
I'll just elaborate for you. If you're really going to come into the game, you need to do a lot of your own research first.
Oh, and don't get discouraged. That's what I wanted to say.
Discouraged.
Yeah.
Buy the right stuff. But remember, sanitary is everything. So you want to make sure that you're being clean first and foremost. Before you even start tattooing, you want to make sure that you're cleaning all your machines right. You're using the right maticides and sprays so that you don't spread any blood.
Of course, yeah.
So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you understand that before you start getting into tattooing, because you don't want to get anything, no hepatitis C, no type of diseases and stuff, because it can't
Cross contamination.
like Just for example, check this out. If you've been tattooing, you ever poked yourself
Yes.
on accident?
Yeah.
Okay. Now think about this. I was in New York one time, and some guy walks in, and he goes, "Hey, I was just wondering, I have HIV. Can you guys still tattoo me?" And right there, I was like, "Oh, whoa, what? What'd you say?" He goes, "I'm HIV positive. I don't have AIDS, but I'm HIV positive."
Mm-hmm.
My heart dropped right there, because then I started thinking about everything.
Yeah, you have to treat each client like they have that.
I told him, I said, respectfully, thank you for telling me that you do have it, but I can't. If somebody else in the shop wants to tattoo you, that's up to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't. I mean, it's like, oh, but I don't want to go to anybody else but you. Sorry, bro. I, you know what? Thank you for telling me, but it's just too risky.
For me, I mean, I think everybody should take that as like a learning experience as well. I treat every client like they do have that. You don't know. They're not going to tell you. So you have to conduct your cleaning, routine as if they do, because they're not going to tell you, most of them weren't.
That's why I told him. I said, respectfully, I appreciate you told me that, because you didn't have to.
Yes. Yeah.
And I probably would have tattooed you not knowing the fact.
Yeah.
And I know I barbed myself before on accident. So for me to do that, it kind of was wake-up call, like, get your shit together and take your time. Don't rush anything.
No, you're not there.
Rushing things, that's when accidents
happen. Ink.
You gotta take your time, dude. Take your time and give yourself your time. If someone said, if you think a tattoo is going to take 2 hours, give yourself 3. So if the person comes in and says, oh, how long do you think it's going to take? Over-exaggerate.
I always do. I'll say like 4.
Yeah. That way you're working comfortably.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel like there's any type of pressure.
Yeah.
Because the pressure is where you see it in people's tattoos, where they start getting blown out lines. They started the shading starts getting too dotty to where it looks like they're rushing.
Yeah.
Take your time, dude. The slower, the better.
Yeah.
That's why.
And I feel like even as an experienced artist, and I've heard other experienced artists 20 plus years, every day they're learning still too. Yeah. So learning never stops.
I mean, I'm learning every day. I mean, you have all kinds of different companies coming in right now that make new needles, and some needles work better than others. Because of the way they put together the cartridge, how durable they are.
So tell us, Ink Pirate, have you ever wanted to give up tattooing? And if you had, what keeps you motivated?
You know what? A few years ago, it got slow for a little bit. And I can do carpentry work, too. Besides that, I could do construction work. And I don't mind working with wood. And at some point, I almost lost the passion for it. Only because I started getting older and, I'm thinking about my son and his future. And somebody re-inspired me to say, hey, you know what? Don't give up. You've already worked this hard to get where you're at. That just means that you need to turn up the heat.
Yeah.
And I was only discouraged because I went to, like I said, don't put nobody on a pedestal. I went to this guy's shop that I really looked up to.
Wow.
I gave him my all. I know the same story that I'm telling you, I told him. And I didn't tell him the story, but he asked me what happened to me. So I was honest with them. And in high hopes, thinking that, I would have got the spot. I didn't get it. They gave it to somebody else.
No.
And at that, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to hang it up.
Wow. And you did it.
Nah.
So now
I want to go harder.
Yeah.
Because I'm already 40, and I feel like if I'm going to do it this next 10 years, I got to really.
So
I took the opportunity to come today to do the podcast.
Yeah. So before we stop or anything like that, let people know where they could contact you to get tatted.
Oh, they can contact me at
your Instagram
is inkpirate_tattoo. My phone number is 213-810-7998. You can always send me a text. But if you go to the Instagram, on my contacts, all the information is listed there.
Check out his work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we wrap it up, I just have one more question for you, and I want to know what you think, in your opinion, is the main reason for your success.
It's the main reason?
Yeah. Like today, why do you think is the main reason why you're successful?
because I can hear my friend telling me, don't just do it for us. Do it for us.
Wow.
I'd like to say my children, but my children aren't the ones that tell me like this and that.
And we all do everything for our children.
I do things,
Of course. Because you do it
I have
to support them, right?
but they don't tell me.
But there's always that inner voice.
They don't understand it.
Of course.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But with my friend that passed away, I understand what the goal was, why I started doing it in the first place. So if I don't strive hard and continue this and leave this legacy, then his legacy dies.
What's your friend's name?
Daniel Gonzalez.
Daniel Gonzalez. Yeah. So let's speak his name so that it feels powerful.
Yeah, you know, but
So tell us, like, for Daniel Gonzalez, right?
Gonzalez was gonna do it, and I'm
That's right.
keep on striving. Yeah, I'm gonna also do it for my children. But like I said, as my children get older, they get into their own type of ambitions and dreams, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want them to be who they want to be. I don't want to force my dreams onto them.
It's awesome.
I don't want to do what a lot of other parents do, where they say, "Well, I want you to be a tattoo artist like me." I don't want that. I want you to do what you want
Yeah.
and find yourself, just like I found myself. And like I tell everybody else, look, whatever you set out to do, whether it be what I do or whatever it is you do, you got to give it your all. And you're always going to find that point to where you're going to say, man, everybody's going to deal with that. Oh, man, should I give up? Should I give up? Because that's the inner doubt of yourself. If you really want to succeed, you got to keep on.
Keep going.
That's like even every little step to accomplishing something is going to be.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you so much today for coming, Ink Pirate. It was
sharing your
a
story.
blessing having
Yes.
you and hearing your story, your testimony, and I know that it's gonna touch people all over the world to hear your story and how you didn't give up no matter what. And through all your trials and tribulations, whether it was your physical, your physical obstacles or your mental obstacles, you overcame them. And I am so happy to be sitting next to you right now, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, I'm glad that you guys invited me down here. One hand washes the other. When you told me and you reached out to me, I was more than and happy to come and help you out and get this podcast off the
Yeah. Even if it just helps one person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even if we reach one person today, we have already accomplished our goal for this platform.
Nah, thank you.
Now we did it together.
You motivated me. Yeah. Thank you. You motivated me.
Thank you guys, and catch us on the next episode of Divine Connections podcast.